Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. He's the host who just might roast you.
Yes.
Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health, and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as cyclic adenosine monophosphate and 11 benevolent elephants, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Oh, hey, Dr. London. Where did you get that jacket from the stupid jacket ugly guy store? Oh, burn, roast.
You're roasting my lab coat?
Well, yeah, roasting is very, very fun, and I thought we could sort of add that element to the podcast where we're sort of just like roasting each other. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking it might be fun to like pick a random listener and we just like roast them. People love roast. Have you seen like the subreddit /r/roast me?
Oh, I thought that was the food thing. Like I knew Thanksgiving.
It is, but it's people slamming these roasts. They're saying that roast looks so dry. It looks like there's no flavor to it. Why not put some seasoning on that? Like just really owning the like really sort of nasty destroying these roasts.
Okay, so we can try to, and our listeners are the ones who probably can take it the best.
Oh yeah, very thick skin, and they don't know most words, so a lot of things can sort of just slide by them. So just pick someone on our listener list if you just go through it real quick and.
So Susan. Okay, and sorry for anyone listening now who's confused about how we know. We have all your stats.
Oh,
we have all your information. That's why you don't get a phone. I mean, we have all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know that your data is being passed around, and do we know your BMI? Yeah, are we tracking the BMI of all of our listeners on sort of a fun graph? Yeah, of course. It's a medical podcast.
That's our whole. Yeah. Anyway, so Susan, I don't think that anyone's gonna be complimenting that dress you're wearing today.
Susan is really self-conscious about her clothes.
Okay. So I'll stay away from that. That's a sticky
clothes,
topic.
But it's like she grew up and we're wearing a lot of like thrift store stuff back when like that wasn't cool. And so some of the kids teased her, and so it's sort of a sensitive subject. So if we can just sort of lay off that when we're dealing with Susan, that'd be really, because we're not trying to like actually hurt someone's feelings. I mean, come on, man. Like,
I'm sorry. That's on me.
Yeah,
that's on me. Yeah, it's a roast, not a criticizing.
Not a toast.
Okay.
When you're just sort of toasting someone, heating them up.
Yeah. Okay, it's a roast, not a toast. Okay, so Susan, you let's see the info we have here. You've done a poor job at your tutoring of that underprivileged child. Is that good? Is that a good one?
I think that's fair. I mean, the kid's grades are not very good. So, I mean, it's accurate. I think she knows that more than anyone.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So hopefully that'll bring in more listeners.
Yeah, I mean,
that one.
Can I get a roast real quick? I mean, is that?
Yeah. Well, I feel like you already did me, and it was pretty.
I got you on your jacket.
Pretty harsh burn. But no, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Susan, should I pick someone else, or are we?
Yeah.
Maybe it's probably mean to keep going after Susan, huh?
Well, for you to go after Susan, I feel like if both of us are ganging up, then that's called ganging up.
Okay. Well, what about Jeffrey? It's sort of like Giraffe and Jeffrey combined together. That's one of our listeners, apparently.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Okay, Jeffrey. Let me look through his file. Oh, okay. Jeffrey, you have never really gotten the hang of surfing. And that, I mean, what are you, like a baby?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm reading here, like, no, he's got some childhood trauma associated with that. Like, his dad always promised to take him out to go surfing, and it was kind of part of becoming a man in his family. So if you,
and so
I want to,
yeah, that's going to be a little sensitive to say that you're only okay at surfing. You're just not great at it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's I don't see it going over well, and like we do want like, and I hate to tell you how to do your job, but we want to retain the listeners.
No,
we don't want to lose them.
No,
like this.
I know. Okay.
So,
hey, Giraffery. How about so your laptop is running out of space? What can you even download a song on that thing? Can you download a picture on that thing? There's like only 2 megabytes left on your laptop.
Oh, Roastmaster General. Oh man.
He just unsubscribed from the podcast.
Oh.
Okay. We'll work on this throughout the show.
Okay, yeah.
We'll figure this out later.
We'll get it. So that's our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the house.
What is it you think about when you're all alone? Revisit scenarios like only you would know. What is it you change if it were a dream? Recreate each scene from these memories. If only it were. If only it was so. Fixed in one time, fixed in one place. I've seen too much. I've seen your face when it's over. 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 When it's over, I've seen too much and it won't let go.
And later, Cameron tells me we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
Yeah, so do look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. It doesn't say who sent it, but just contextually. Okay, so it reads: does anyone know how to make vegan dog food? Grandson said it's good for Ted. End quote. From context, and I'm looking at our listeners here, that one was also Susan, I think.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So I guess, do we know how to make vegan dog food? I don't know what vegan is.
Well, vegan, I believe, is a type of gum. Yes.
Okay. So it's dog food made with gum.
Yeah, but here's my thing, is that I just don't know if Ted is actually committed to being vegan. He has gone back and forth with being vegan so much. It's like every other summer, oh yeah, no, I've actually gone back to going vegan. Mm-hmm. But then the next winter, there's no gum. There's no gum in his pockets at all.
Yeah.
And so you're like,
or
okay.
like at best it's juicy fruit.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, why are we committing to this juicy fruit fraud?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why are we bending over backwards to figure out how to make special dog food for him when next week he might not even have access to good gum anymore?
That's true.
So
and
it's just not worth it. It's not worth
and
it.
for it to be dog food also is confusing me a little bit, but I guess maybe that's part of the culture. I'm not on such a specific diet, so I guess I'm just not aware. But,
oh yeah, vegan culture. So I've dabbled in it a little bit. So it is very, do I want to say animal based? a lot of animals end up dying in the process of becoming vegan, is sort of the best way I can put it. That so it being dog food is sort of like an ironic play. It's fun.
Okay. It's just a terminology that, like, it's a turn of phrase. It's not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
they're saying dogs will die to make it, but it's
Yeah.
not necessarily commenting on the contents.
yeah,
of the food.
it's not necessarily like, oh, this is actually dog food for dogs. It's sort of a jokey thing because, yeah, in every bowl, maybe 2 or 3 dogs had to be put down for
right.
it.
Okay. Yes. Once again, I'm just not as familiar, but thank you to that listener. Thank you to Susan for reaching out, and thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic: lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance is a condition in which patients are unable to fully digest lactose, and that's the type of sugar that's found in milk. No weight loss is typically associated with lactose intolerance because lactose is only one of several sugars to absorb. However, stool osmolality is increased, and so this causes fluids to be pulled into the stool, and that results in diarrhea. Diagnosis is typically made by removing all milk-containing products from the diet, and then you wait a single day for the resolution of those patients' symptoms.
And I maybe we should specify, just because you have these symptoms of being sort of intolerant doesn't mean that that's how you have to be forever. I think we've all sort of like grown over as you get older, sort of become more progressive, and maybe some things that you used to scoff at, you probably should be a little more open-minded about.
Yes.
So maybe just being intolerant about every new idea that comes along, maybe, this lactose thing or whatever, maybe actually think about it and be open to it.
Yeah, I think for these, these patients that struggle might, persist just for their own natural body, like they can't help it.
You support our audience being intolerant of new ideas and new things.
Not new ideas necessarily. I think it's more the substance that I'm going to come across
substances that are important to many people in many different cultures and ideas and worlds, but you just want to shut them off because of this. What'd you call it? Like a laptop?
It's lactose intolerance. So treatment for this lactose intolerance, because we do have a treatment.
Okay.
And it's similar. So you either avoid the milk products except for yogurt, or you can use oral lactase replacement, and that can also be effective, and that's available over the counter. So.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you're saying to get over things I was intolerant about, maybe in the past I could have just taken like a pill? That would have been so much easier than all the like growing and learning and maturing I did.
Yeah. I'm not like.
For example, I'm going to be honest. As a kid, I completely rejected the idea that the Earth might actually be flat. I'm just going to say it. I know that's probably embarrassing to say, like, but I'm not prideful about it. But yeah, no, I did believe like, oh, the Earth must be round. This is the only way this works. This is the only way this makes sense. It did take me a little time for me to grow up and to be a little more open and tolerant to the ideas of the Earth is flat. There's military people sitting at the poles, making it where you can't get up there and they'll shoot you if you get up there.
So you're saying that you're relieved that there might be a pill to speed you along that journey to accepting that.
Oh, yes, because it took me years to sort of get over that mental hurdle.
Yeah.
That mental block of like, I'm unwilling to accept reality.
Yeah.
But once I was able to accept it, take that pill of a certain color, then, my mind was so open. A metaphorical pill.
Yeah. Okay. Because you said of a certain color.
I just wish it was a literal pill.
You said of a certain color as if there is a specific pill that you. Never mind.
Well, I got red pilled on.
Okay.
On flat Earth.
Okay. All right. Well,
but it's mainly the part about military guys sitting at the poles and then just sort of popping people as they try to discover the truth.
Yeah. Well, I can't really comment because I'm not as sure about it as you are, but the idea that it's got to be military, right? It's got to be.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They've got the guns.
Yeah, they have several. Anyway, we can move on from there if that's all right for you.
Yeah, sure. That's it? Just lactose intolerant people, you take this pill, or
or you just avoid
don't eat cheese anymore?
Yeah, you avoid the milk products except for yogurt. Yeah, it's not that hard to treat, but people do suffer from it. So
what do doctors even do? Honestly, the more medical lessons I sit through, the more I realize how much of it is just you going, oh, well, just you don't eat that anymore.
Yeah,
I can do that. I can tell people to stop eating stuff.
Yeah, I know you often do. It's kind of frustrating how often you tell people just stop eating stuff. At least this is kind of specific and targeted. It's not just anything. It's you stop eating these products.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. Cameron, you said that we have a special guest today. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. London. We have one of the most special guests we've ever had on this show.
Wow. Okay. And is there a way that you evaluate that?
Oh, yeah. I've got a chart. If you look at it, it's just a line that goes up every single week.
Yeah.
Because we just get better and better as a show.
Wow. So it's not even, there are no zigzags to it. It's just a straight line. It looks a lot like just a line drawn rather than a chart.
It looks like a line indicating success is what you're saying. Do you want it to go down occasionally? You want to throw in bad guests into the mix? Sure. Next week, I'll get the shittiest guest we've ever had on this show. Does that make you feel better?
No, it's just, the accuracy of it, whatever. I'm sorry. Our guest. Sorry, my name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
My name is Flavia DeBridgertoniantonio. Tonio, that's it.
Okay.
Bridgertoniantonio?
Yes, the whole thing. I'm not going to repeat it. My name is Flavia DeBridgertoniantonio.
Flavia, what brings you to the show? Why are you here?
I am so excited because you are a doctor and you are a human. And we have a product at Bridgertoniontonio Corp that helps humans with problems in the same way doctors do. Except it's not a doctor.
Are you talking about something that will finally replace doctors? Get these evil people off this earth?
The way we see it is you have doctors at the hospitals, so you need someone at home. So we have a robot for you.
Oh.
For me? Or for...
I guess.
Who is this for?
Yeah, is this for Dr. London?
I was kind of thinking it would be for you, Cameron. Doctors' reception of our robots has not been excellent, so we're trying to test it out with non-doctor humans.
I think that is the smartest way to go because these doctors are so picky about, oh, you got to do this exactly and you got to do that exactly. Whereas the average person like me, I'll just be impressed if the robot just spins around. That already baseline, I am incredibly impressed. So anything beyond that, I am just thrilled.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So can this robot do that?
Can it spin around?
It can spin around. Yes. Yes. It does much more. What it does is it helps people with their problems.
Wow. Okay. That sounds very broad. Mm-hmm. Is that, and you said medical problems? Is it specific to medicine?
A lot of people use it for medical problems, but really you can do it for anything. A lot of people set New Year's resolutions and had their robot help them keep it. For instance, I want to feed my dog every day. So, you could imagine ways a robot could help you feed your dog every day, right?
Yeah, I can imagine it. Does that mean that it does it? Or is that just something that I imagine and it sticks up here in my brain?
No, so the robot makes sure humans do all work, but it will tell the humans to do the work.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't just exist in my imagination. It's real life spinning around telling me to feed the dog.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this sounds a little bit like it's like a supervisor, basically.
Kind of. We modeled it after our parents, I'm
sorry. When you say we, you mean the DeBridgertoniantonio Corporation?
Yes.
That entire...
We're a family business.
Okay. and so your entire family base it on your parents or your parent company. I'm sorry, I just want to clarify this.
Are you saying? Did you say parents or parrots?
Parrots. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's confusing sometimes to people because parents nag you, but parrots can also be trained to nag you.
Oh, so this is sort of like a digital bird doctor.
That's such a great tagline. Your digital bird doctor.
I'm trying to come to terms with it. So you have this bird, and I'm just like me trying to grasp the concept of this project.
Sure.
You have this robot that's based on a parrot, and or your parrot specifically, and it yells at you to do stuff. Is that basically it?
That's right.
And so you're hoping that this will have medical applications, but also broad applications.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you already have customers, right? You already have people who use this?
We do. Well, I should say we have people who have this robot parrot in their home.
Okay.
Period.
That's okay.
Oh,
Put
okay.
it there.
End of sentence. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I have a lot of things in my home.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of it is that it can fly to you, right? So
Sure.
No need for delivery or ordering or anything like that.
Okay, so it can fly.
It can fly.
Does it look like a bird?
Yes.
Like, does it look like a parrot? Oh, okay. So it's a little robot parrot that flies around. That actually is incredible.
Thank you for passing the schematics and everything. We do have a lot. See your pitch here.
Yeah, I thought the diagrams would be helpful. Some people think it looks like a surveillance drone, but we think it looks like a parrot.
Well, the propellers,
right,
for me, are a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question. I mean, you sort of mentioned that it is in people's homes. Is that how? Did they put that there, or is the robot making the choice to go in their house, or how does this work exactly?
Yeah, I mean, our company policy on it is if your windows are open, you are welcoming flying objects into your home.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of people overlook that when they open their windows, but I mean, that's their fault, not ours.
Right. A window open turns your private property basically into public property.
Exactly. At least the airspace of your home.
So how have some of the people, so I guess not customers,
recipients?
We just call them humans.
How have some of the humans used this for medical needs?
For instance, we have some of these parrots that are in homes with kids who have asthma. And so when a child coughs, it'll say something like, asthma, asthma, asthma.
Oh, wow. So is that happening if the kid doesn't have asthma? Like if the kid just coughs, does it just make that assumption?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I guess based on the medical information we were able to find on the internet, children who cough have asthma.
Okay.
And that is true.
I guess.
What, Dr. London?
My knowledge of asthma is more, and maybe you have medical advisors who are telling you differently, but asthma is usually you think of wheezing more, and coughing would be.
Oh.
I mean, coughing can definitely happen in asthma, but coughing isn't like the first thing you think of whenever you hear it. You think of wheezing, whereas with say like having a cold or pneumonia, the flu, like a lot of that stuff, or there's this kind of there's this coronavirus going around that we recently heard about, and that one also causes a cough sometimes. So and
this is when I hear this man speak in all this technical medical jargon saying blah 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 blue, I suddenly realize, I need one of these robot parrots in my house because I don't want to ever have to listen to this man again. Yeah.
I mean, I think actually part of the reason I wanted to come on this podcast was to get some medical information we could program into the robot. So what I took from that was when someone coughs, shout asthma or pneumonia or flu or coronavirus.
Yes, I think that really sounds like, actually list those things and then also specify you do not have asthma, because he said it, people with asthma do not cough.
Right.
So you don't have asthma. You might have pneumonia, COVID. Wow.
You should think about freelancing with our corporation. Just these are great ideas.
Oh, just as like an ideas guy? I love being an ideas guy. Just sitting in the room, just throwing out. I mean, do you want another idea?
Sure. What do you think people need to hear?
Oh, so I think maybe just shouting things is sort of limited. I think maybe having some sort of I would say like a gun or some sort of weapon that can be attached to it, that if there's a burglary or something, you'll be protected. So it's both an assistant and helper and also sort of your bodyguard.
Oh, interesting. See, when you said that, I definitely thought you were thinking that could be a form of, threat to help motivate people to take care of themselves and do their goals.
Hey, what the bird does with the gun is none of my concern.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing to me as the ideas guy is just that the bird has access to it,
Okay.
Well, and the schematics definitely seem like you have thought of this to some extent.
I think I think I maybe stole the idea from the blueprints, because it does look like there's a gun holster on the sort of the underneath the wing of this bird.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the bird comes with many things. We wanted to set ourselves up for the future, so it has a camera, a recording device, a temperature gauge, an AI, a harpoon. Yeah. The harpoon has not proven to be useful so far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see a lot of notes in here about the potential for whaling. Whale hunting, and I'm wondering, is that, I don't know, like, is that the first market you want to be targeting?
Well, Dr. London, I guess you have to think, I mean, this needs to be an assistant to everyone. Are you saying that sea captains shouldn't have, like whalers shouldn't have assistants? Shouldn't have some digital help?
Yeah. I will say that we've struggled with the whale hunter market because there's so much wind out there that our pairs just sort of end up in the ocean. We've lost like 4 to 5 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were really targeting whalers pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean, we started with the harpoon, and then we thought, what market could this serve? And there was only whale hunters.
So do any of your humans enjoy having the parrot assistant around?
Well, we do record everything they say and then, run it through AI to see how people feel about it. And most people, I'll say this, most people who have one of these in their homes later convert to some type of conspiracy theory religion. We don't know why that's related, but that is one major outcome we've seen.
Well, do you think it's something that, because I see the instructions on here, or I guess the pre-programmed aspects of the bird, it seems like there is a lot of shouting out, or I guess pre-recorded. Yeah, okay, it looks like audio recordings from certain InfoWars.
Prayers in Latin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, prayers in Latin intermixed with InfoWars headlines.
Mm-hmm.
And clips, like actual sound clips from it, which, for one thing, I'm wondering about if there's a licensing issue there. But
nope.
I guess more importantly, as you said, if they're changing to other sort of conspiratorial religions, I guess I'm wondering, why did you put this in? Were you just trying to fill it with content? Was that the goal?
I mean, let's just say that licensing that information was pretty easy. Licensing other information has been pretty challenging. So, and we don't.
Oh, but the Alex Jones stuff specifically was pretty easy to get.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how it is. How creepy would it be if there's a flying drone-like parrot in your home, completely silent?
Oh my gosh, that would be so scary.
Yeah, give me the creeps.
So scary.
Ooh, the willies just thinking about that.
Yeah, but a lot less scary to have a bird fly into your home and just scream clips
about like false flags.
Yeah,
exactly.
And also
crisis actors.
Phrases in Latin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people take so long to get it. You two are so sharp.
Well, okay, yeah. So I'm reading through. I mean, there's a lot of...
Dr. London, she did come here because she wants to make this product medically better. I mean, as a doctor, you're looking through the schematics. Do you have any maybe ideas from that sort of angle?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are such a thing as, robotic surgeries that happen, surgeries done by a robot. I see, like, you've really heavily emphasized just how many scalpels and just straight up swords are to be carried by it.
It seems that the bird's talons are made up of, little swords, I think is the best way you could call it.
I mean, I guess, like, metal shrapnel. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a particular type of metal. We source it from many of the local junkyards.
Well, see, this is the part where I think I would say you might want to be more careful about it because if, and this is a huge if you are wanting to have your robotic bird fly into someone's house and perform a surgery, you would want the materials they use for the surgery to be, properly cleaned, sterilized. So sourcing from the junkyard might be a poor choice for that.
Well, maybe the bird, it is a bird, so maybe it can find a bird bath and bathe itself first before it performs this sort of invasive surgery.
That is brilliant. I also wanted to ask if maybe the situation would be different if we flew into hospitals. I mean, you mentioned at-home surgeries are problematic. I think hospitals seem much safer.
That seems so much safer, yeah. And more access to these sort of, purifying materials to make this stuff clean, Dr. London.
The autoclaves and whatever, yeah, hospitals do tend to have that. But I feel like this is one of those things where, in an ideal situation, the bird wouldn't be doing the surgery.
Oh, no. Oh, no. AI would do that, definitely.
And where is the AI? Like, is that in the bird?
That's artificial intelligence, right? That's the word. Okay, that's right. Okay. And it is.
You've heard the phrase bird brain. I mean, we wouldn't want a bird to be doing surgery. You definitely want something more intelligent, like artificial intelligence.
But is the AI using the bird's body to do this?
Yes. AI doesn't have a body.
Okay, yeah. That is very true. I did see Her, which taught me a lot about that.
Okay.
We loved that movie at work.
And I'm sorry to be backing up on this so much, but so the bird with the artificial intelligence, I don't think that it should be performing the surgeries because, the medical knowledge and sort of even the ability to properly feel for the pressure and everything, like all of that is kind of a difficult and learned skill.
Speaking of pressure, that's what I'm feeling right now, Dr. London, is you're feeling pressure by being automated. You thought as a doctor you were always going to be foolproof and never be replaced by robots, but you see this parrot performing surgeries that you want to be performing. And you say, "Oh no, automation bad. No, that can't happen."
This is classic response to parrots. Parrots are actually kind of an endangered species because when people heard them talk for the first time, they thought, that's smarter than me. And, part of our mission is to bring parrots back into the lives of everyone.
Yeah, parrots used to be everywhere, like in every country, on every continent, everywhere. But people were so mad that the birds were smarter that they would cook them and eat them. Kind of like an I'll show you who's smarter.
Okay, that part, historically, sure. I recognize that. People's just so much insecurity for everyone globally did lead to the, I guess, at least partial extinction of these parrots. But
and that's part of why we have the shrapnels too. We don't want a situation like that to happen again.
So So I was reading through the security protocols for the self-defense protocols for the bird, and it does seem like a little excessive to me.
Well, you haven't seen the things people have tried to do to the birds to get them out of their house.
I guess could I explain to you, at least my take so far, maybe you can correct me on this.
Sure.
Sort of what would be happening. So I'm walking around my house and this metallic bird creature flies in through the window, starts yelling at me about how these frogs are being turned gay. And then I look up at it and I make eye contact with it. And this is like a split second. According to your schematics here, it will attack at that point.
Yes.
It's go for throat is what it reads.
Yeah, direct eye contact you should not do with one of these.
I guess I don't see the reason for that. Like, do you think that that's...
You don't see the reason that the robot should be able to protect themselves? Okay.
I mean, yes. Because I'm not going to mistake this. I'm seeing the pictures. It's a very metallic... Like, it's not even plastic like a normal drone. It's a metallic creature.
Yeah, and a metallic creature with AI smart enough to know that you are a threat if you make eye contact with it. That's what it sounds like.
It's a pure animal instinct.
Which is what you want in AI. You know, everyone is so obsessed with trying to recreate the human brain. But it's like, no, it's still a bird. So yes, of course, it's going to be thinking like a bird. That's what it sounds like, right? It's the AI, but it's essentially a bird brain AI, yeah.
Well, what's amazing is that we've been able to combine a few different animal brains in it. So it's sort of part bird, part shark, part panda.
Yeah, I'm reading there is a long list here.
Yeah. I could keep going.
Part cattle.
Yeah, part cattle. Part kangaroo. That's where it gets the violence. Yeah. I guess.
And it's
the
pouch for holding weapons.
So it does say part chupacabra, and this is maybe the only point in this that I've been flipping through the schematics where I do have to wonder if that's maybe not an issue, because I do believe that chupacabra. I mean, it sucks people's blood, right? It's like vampiric, right? Am I crazy about that?
To be fair, we didn't know much about that animal when we put its DNA in the AI sequencing tool.
So, I don't know if that's, favoring you that much. If you programmed it to have the mind of a vampiric creature, but your defense is that you didn't research it. Like what made you? Yeah, sorry. So this is a good question. What made you what made you choose these animals to put in the brain?
They were the ones that had the DNA most available on the animal DNA black market.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So just what was around. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's a business.
It's a cost-benefit analysis. We need 100 pieces of animal DNA. How can we get this in the most affordable way?
Wow.
Okay.
And I would think a, legendary folklore creature that sucks the blood of its victims would be more expensive, but it sounds like that was maybe on the cheaper end.
Yes. Surprisingly cheap. I mean, to be fair, we didn't validate the DNA of any of these animals. We took it at face value, but most of these dealers are quite honest people.
Yeah, typically on Silk Road and those kind of black market sites, you're going to find sort of some pretty cool people.
I'm sorry to have so much hesitation over these.
What is your problem, Dr. London? I see your face. What you have another issue?
I think I know it. I think I should have asked this before, but do you happen to be of the opinion that robots should be controlled by humans?
Yeah, well, of course. You said at the start that this was to help people.
Helping is different than controlling.
Dr. London, you think anyone who helps someone should be like in servitude and be controlled by that person?
Well,
of course you think
just
that.
All these specifications on, instinctive maneuvers that you have written here are just so... They seem opposite from what they... Like, if the human does try to control, which it seems to be any movement by the human, that's an attack. They're going to be attacked.
The robot does take a few minutes to learn the human's behavior. So it identifies standard movements, it identifies non-standard movements, which could be potentially dangerous.
What are the standard movements?
How many? Yeah, I guess what are the if one of these flies into my house, what should I do? I think maybe this would be good for our listeners to learn, so they'll learn more about your product.
It might fly into their house.
Yeah, it might already have. Yeah, I would say do as many movements as you can do within the first 3.5 minutes. That's pretty much your window of time for training it. So anything you think you would do in a normal day, cooking, going to the bathroom, working, sleeping, feeding your dog, playing with your children.
Juggling.
Juggling.
Slurping.
These are all verbs.
Embalming, yeah. So it's, I see in here it also, you mentioned feeding the dog. It will become the dominant animal in the room. That seems to be a trend here. So
yeah,
it does specify it does become sort of the pack leader, alpha figure within the household.
It's true. That is true.
Okay, and that's it. Because to me it seems like, if you have, say, like a little, Chihuahua or something, like just you have a tiny dog that's not really doing anything. It looks like this bird is going to specifically make it serve the bird, and it will attack the dog until it does, become subservient. Is that?
I mean,
like
you summarized it pretty well.
Okay.
I would say that if you have multiple animals, it will, become their pack leader in the order of their size. That's probably an important piece of information.
Okay. I just, it seems like
you're wondering why the robot needs to readjust the hierarchy in the house anyway. Well, Dr. London, you're not a new element entering a home you've never lived in before.
It's true.
Things have to adjust and change.
Yeah. And the shoot first, because obviously there are also, we've been mentioning the blades, but also just how weaponized this thing is. It's different, not just bullets, but I see a flamethrower is an attachment that I guess it's not on every bird, but it's on some of them.
It does look like you have attachment tiers. So you've got the flamethrower tier. You have a gardening tier, which looks really nice. It has a little, it has a lot of shears and stuff like that. So I guess still weapons, but you could say like hedge cutters.
Yeah, we kind of had to walk the line, because if it had too many weapons on it, then people would get very upset within the first 3.5 minutes, take it down. But if it didn't have enough weapons, then people would try to take it down after 3.5 minutes. And we've iterated, as people learn new ways to take down our robot, we learn new ways to protect.
Wow.
Okay.
Have you guys, because you've put so much equipment and so many equipment tiers on this robot, have you guys considered allowing it to do more than just yell out commands? Like maybe actually do stuff rather than, it sounds like mostly just attacking people, attacking dogs, and then yelling instructions. Have you thought about maybe expanding that?
I feel like that's pretty good. As a human, there's few things I want to do besides speak and attack. So we try to give that same opportunity to our robots.
Yeah, okay.
And Flavia, do you have one of these in your home?
I have many.
Oh, wow. And what's a normal day for you? I want to know what it's like to live with these around.
Yeah, so I don't know. We sort of have a special relationship, I think, me and the robots that live in my home.
They've imprinted on you?
Yeah. I mean, they're the leaders, right? So often they want to get up early in the morning. They want a nice little polish. We kind of check the status of all of their equipment. They really appreciate that. And then we talk. Mostly I listen, but.
Yeah, and it's just clips from like InfoWars and stuff in Latin.
Well, so they've started expanding out. I don't know how, but they connected to the internet and have been starting to find some of their own things. That's actually where I first heard about you.
Okay.
It was from Of the Robots.
Oh, wow. They were just talking about us? Or what were they sort of opening their mouths and then our podcast would play? Because I'm interested on which would be. I don't know which I would want more. I'd kind of want the bird to maybe just like talk about how much they love us and how cool we are.
Yeah, I mean, it was more of the latter, I'll be honest. It was just sort of your podcast, but it was odd because I only heard you, Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
so it just it sounds like maybe the bird got access to our Google Drive and just got my microphone stems and not the whole podcast.
maybe, but sometimes during the blank spaces, it would specifically say, "We have taken this part out. We don't think it's good for you to hear."
Huh.
Oh, yeah. That's after DJ Dylan does the proper editing for the show, which is
Yes.
what we have to do to keep it interesting and fresh. But yeah, that's just the editing. I mean,
I haven't heard that version. Is that
oh yeah, no, I mean you get the special version because you're the host, Dr. London. You get a very special version of the podcast.
well, just special, like I just hear my voice back. That doesn't seem that, overly special. It just sounds like how a recording would work.
Yeah, it's just not how the podcast ends up when it's uploaded to iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry to
No, go ahead.
I guess just to sort of finish up here, my advice would be, if you're asking for the medical thing,
Sure.
the use that I could see is like if there are updates on, vaccines, on, dosages and stuff, like things that people should be aware of as a public health thing, then that would be something useful maybe to play through the mouth of the bird. But
Well,
Oh.
I am curious though if the bird is influenced by InfoWars, it might be anti-vax. What are the bird's opinions on vaccines?
It's gone both directions. It's
Oh yeah.
information is constantly coming out about it. So I would like to say that the birds are pro-vaccine, but we also have data that shows that most of the people who join these conspiracy theory religions also do not get the vaccine.
Yeah, it sounds like the birds are sort of still doing their own research.
Yeah. But I like that advice. So you're saying that when our autonomous metal birds fly into your home without warning and then potentially start attacking you, they should also say something like, "Get a vaccine."
that would be a one step up from what's currently happening. Yes. But I don't know that I'm not sure that I can endorse this product, I guess, is where I would have to land on it.
Well, I mean, Flavia, were you wanting Dr. London's endorsement? Because you can get my endorsement. I have zero issues handing that out.
That's actually what we really were hoping for.
Yes.
Okay.
So many people in these homes just hear your voice all the time. I think you saying that it's a good thing for this to be in their home would really help.
Oh wow. Okay, so like our podcast is in rotation now. We're being played in homes everywhere. That's so good for our brand.
Yeah, well, we have chores to do, and I hate to to move away from this conversation, but there are we have to do these chores, and I feel like there's not much
chores. What are you talking
good
about, Dr. London? Should I explain it?
If you would.
Okay, Dr. London brought up these chores that we have to do. What are chores? Chores are little tasks you have to do, little errands you gotta run, little things you gotta do around your house. Dr. London and I have unfortunately been neglecting our chores for a while. I don't have an excuse. MasterChef was on. It wasn't good, but we didn't know how to turn it off, and it was very loud. So that became most of our weekend. So anyway, we have a ton of stuff on our to-do list. So we made this chore wheel just to hopefully knock some things off, check some things off the list, get things done. And we spin this chore wheel every single weekend, whatever it lands on. That is the chore we have to do. And Dr. London, even if that means shaving your eyebrows, which I know you say hurts. You say it hurts, which I don't believe you.
Well, just with because I only have the one razor.
Yeah,
and it's
you do just have a straight edge razor.
And it is very rusted.
Yeah,
like crumbling, kind of rusted. So,
but if I'm sorry, but if that's what it lands on, you got to do it. I mean, I haven't shaved my eyebrows in weeks, Dr. London.
Yeah, and it looks ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, someone the other day just mentioned, like, hey, I noticed that you actually have eyebrows now. It's not just completely bald there. And I felt so embarrassed that someone saw me outside like that. Ugh.
But, okay. But yes, we have to do these chores. And Flavia, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and giving that, you see that giant wheel over there? Could you give that a spin?
Yeah.
So this is to figure out which chore we have to do today. And there it goes. Okay. Not this one. Okay, so we, the Jock Doc podcast is always trying to expand more, our brand and everything. So we are now making our own version of a space program. This is kind of, all the CEOs are getting in on this, and we're not going to be left behind. This is where industry is going. And so we just have to basically come up with all the different aspects of our space program, or I guess let's sort of set the stage for what it will be.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe designs, where our space shuttle is going to go.
Yeah, maybe let's come up with a name, come up with a plan, and like a goal date that we want to do. I mean, I think we could just keep it simple and call us JASA. It's just whatever NASA stands for, but replacing the N with Jock Doc.
Okay. Yeah, and sorry, and please, Flavia, or I don't know, do you prefer, I should have asked this earlier, Flavia or Miss DeBridgertoniantonio?
Yes, Miss DeBridgertoniantonio.
You prefer that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for calling you by your first name earlier. That was very rude. I should have asked.
It's okay.
So Miss DeBridgertoniantonio, any suggestions you have here with your industry experience, we will also appreciate. So name, does that sound good to you? JASA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like NASA, which I think will... Okay. Well,
I think a lot of people will be, like, especially
out.
If we're trying to get funding and maybe we're doing like cold calling older people, I think having a confusing name that sounds similar to something legitimate would be really helpful.
Okay. So we're JASA is our company, or our under company, whatever. Okay. So now, let's figure out where we're gonna go. Having a target is good.
Okay. Well, everyone is obsessed with Mars right now. You hear about Mr. Musk trying to go to Mars and all this kind of stuff. And Matt Damon, we saw what happened when Matt Damon tried to go up there. He got stuck up there.
Yeah.
And
risky.
It's like, it's very risky. He had to make potatoes and use his own duty for fertilizer.
Yeah.
It
was disgusting.
It's disgusting, and that's just not the life I want to live. So I mean, what's better than Mars?
Venus.
Oh. And which one is that?
It's hot there. It'd be kind of like a beach vacation, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So, things we'll need for that if it's hot. And we don't need to hire a bunch of people for this because I think we think tank it here. We can pretty easily get the word out.
Yeah. I mean, sunglasses.
Sunglasses, yeah. Well, if it's hot, also I'm thinking like
sandals.
Sort of. Yeah, and like maybe I wouldn't wear a shirt necessarily.
A crop top.
Yes.
That's
okay.
Good. Yeah, that's better than your suggestion of bringing shirtlessness, which is, I mean, I'm not sure you can bring that, but a crop top, you can definitely bring that with you.
Okay. Well, because for me, I was also thinking of weight issues, and then if we're trying to keep the weight minimal, which we will for space flight.
You're saying that even if we get you a crop top, you're taking that bad boy off.
I'm not bringing it.
Yeah. Okay.
If you bring it, it'll weigh down the ship.
I could tell you were getting towards that, but that's fine. You're still wearing your coat though, right? You're just shirtless underneath it.
My lab coat. Yeah. That plus,
Sandals, sunscreen, sunglasses.
Yeah, booty shorts.
Yeah.
Gas masks.
Ooh, I mean, do I have to? Those are sort of uncomfortable to wear. Why do I need a gas mask? Is it stinky there? Is it stinky?
It's made of gas. Or maybe that was another planet. You'll find out when you get there.
Okay.
I think that's the attitude.
Yeah. Let's just be ready for
Except
whatever.
for anything gassy. Because gas masks, they make you. I don't like how they look. I don't like the aesthetic. I can't wear my sunglasses with them.
Well, I mean, I think part of space travel, part of the discipline of becoming an astronaut is that you do have to start to learn to wear your sunglasses on the outside and just kind of tape them on.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of growing
I'm gonna be honest,
up.
I've never been to space, so I've never done that part or anything.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't realize. I knew that at least one of y'all did. I didn't realize both of you had been to. Now I feel very silly and embarrassed. But yes, no, I grew up in sort of a, middle class family, and, we just.
I wouldn't.
I don't want to hear more about your dirty family.
It's just my upper middle class family is just we grew up still wanting and needing lots of things like going to space.
Yeah, I would keep that story to yourself if you go to Venus.
Is that too much? I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that too much?
Hearing about it now, I feel like we really kind of gave you a lot of hints here to just shut up because it's really
just a downer,
kind of gross to think about
upper middle class people.
Yeah, you might want to change the name from JASA. You don't want people to Google JASA and find this information and learn that about you.
So we won't put that on the website, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Everyone who's already been to space, we've already been to space. You don't have to worry about that. And we'll just gloss over whatever Cameron's thing. I mean, if Cameron can even handle space, now I have all these doubts that I didn't have before.
I'll do the training.
It's just not the same. Which kind of makes me feel like we're not going to. This won't work.
No, we're doing this. We're going to Venus.
Okay.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a beach party. It sounds like. And it sounds like it's going to be sort of gassy, but that's fine because it doesn't sound like it's stinky gassy. That was my only concern, really, was that it'd be too stinky.
Okay. So, we have the destination. We have the...
You want to set a timeline?
Yeah, like a couple of weeks.
So this is what I kind of wanted to mention. I'm going to be out of town most of March.
Okay. March.
So maybe mid-April?
Oh, that's not a good time.
Yeah, okay, mid-April. Okay.
Oh, it's not a good time for Venus?
Season.
Okay.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, Miss Bridgertoniantonio, do you want to come with us? Because we need to accommodate your schedule as well, if you want to go on this journey.
Me?
Oh, yes, I was asking you.
I'm sorry. We don't have a lot. Like, if you look around here, there aren't a lot of DeBridgertoniantonios in the room.
Fair. I mean, at work, there's just so many of us. You have to be really clear.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm just kind of over space.
Oh,
yeah,
you've already done it so much,
I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't understand, but...
No, that's cool. It sounds really cool. It sounds like it's a really neat place. I haven't even wanted to go till now anyway, so,
Well, everyone wants to go when they're little. And
no,
then you go
exactly.
and it's not a big deal later.
No, I never wanted to go. I never planned or dreamed of it.
Yeah.
But just right now, I just want to go to Venus.
Sure.
Do you think maybe...
Or whatever.
At least our rocket can be guided by some of your parrots? I feel like that would possibly come in handy. Can they fly through space? Is that something that they're capable of?
You just need to get out of orbit and you'll see them. No need to worry.
Oh, they're already out there.
Yeah, we felt it was easier to start interplanetary.
Oh, wow, that does sound easier.
A lot less prejudice against robots in space.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I feel like... Okay, so...
space program-wise, Dr. London, where are we at?
I think we're pretty good. And I was, people might say, well, how are you even... Where's your ship? There's so many of these spaceships now that we can get a secondhand one pretty easily. That I'm not worried about.
Yeah, it sounds like a very upper middle class question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once Bezos is done with his, we should be able to pick it up pretty cheap.
Yeah, and fast with that delivery. So,
do you think Prime covers it?
I assume, like, I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
If not, I could just send a few birds over.
Oh,
that would
you.
be so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean,
I think we got to figure it out, Dr. London.
Yeah, that's easy. Space program. People try to complicate this stuff, but it's not that hard.
Yeah.
So, uniforms, crop top or nothing, gas mask maybe with sunglasses, and yeah, have some birds
Flip-flops.
to meet you.
And have some birds.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you wouldn't mind, Miss DeBridgertoniantonio, go ahead and I see that there is a bird in the room that we've been quietly ignoring.
Yes.
Would you mind?
We've only been talking and sitting, which is why it hasn't attacked.
Would you mind having that bird destroy the chore wheel? Because every week we have to have it destroyed and then rebuild, build it anew with new chores.
Sure.
Okay, was that to me or was it okay?
There it goes.
Oh, wow, man, no, it goes.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's eating the chore wheel. I guess I wasn't expecting that. Is that how it fuels itself, I guess? Like, does it actually consume stuff? It eats stuff?
Yeah, just like any sort of bird, it eats its prey.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and its prey is just anything
And,
you tell it, huh?
Yeah, and that really also helps with any sort of bad reviews. We don't get photos typically, so that helps with our online presence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. That makes me a little nervous to see this there because it is kind of eyeing me now.
Sorry.
Dr. Lennon, it sounds like whether we like it or not, when we go home, there's a good chance there's going to be one of these birds sort of surveying us and relaying information about us back.
Okay, well,
And now, Dr. London, we started this show talking about roasting our listeners with their personal information that they gave us that we have every right for, but now it sounds like you're uncomfortable having this attacking robot gathering data on you.
Yeah, I am a hypocrite in that
You are
regard.
a hypocrite.
Okay, well, so thank you, Miss Flavia DeBridgertoniantonio for being on the podcast. Is there any way, are you a fan of anyone or want to share kind of any way for our listeners to keep up with you or someone you like?
One of my favorite podcasts and our robot's favorite podcast is called This Startup is Being Recorded. So feel free to check that out. You can also find some of the people I really love on Highwire Improv, which is all online and quite funny. The birds love it.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you so much to Miss DeBridgertoniantonio. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Did You Know the Host?
Autonomous metal birds fly into your home without warning and then start attacking you. They also say, get a vaccine. Get a vaccine. When someone coughs, shout, get a vaccine. Coronavirus.
InfoWars.
Also say, get a vaccine. Get a vaccine.
Alex Jones.
Also say, get a vaccine.
Everyone is so obsessed with Alex Jones. Alex Jones.
Say, get a flamethrower, gas masks,
Chupacabra.
Booty shorts. Some conspiratorial religions.
Alex Jones.
say,
Frogs are being turned gay. Frogs are being turned gay.
Alex Jones.
Frogs are being turned gay.
Alex Jones.
Frogs are being turned gay. InfoWars. Frogs are being turned gay.
Alex Jones.
Frogs are being turned gay. 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 Frogs are being turned gay.